Let's look at how adjectives behave in French. French adjectives have to agree in gender and number with the noun that they modify. Nouns in French have gender. Nouns are either masculine or feminine. So in the case of people, it's easy to understand. A woman is female, a man, that's masculine or male. But since our adjectives don't change depending on what it is they modify, it doesn't really matter much. In French, however, adjectives change depending on the gender of the person or the thing that they modify, so you always have to be aware of the gender. Now let's look at the way adjectives change based on whether they are masculine or feminine. Masculine adjective petit, which means small, changes to feminine adjective petite by adding an e. Grand, masculine, changes to grande by adding an e. Intéressant, masculine, changes to intéressante by adding an e. Content changes to feminine contente by adding an e. Noir changes to feminine noir by adding an e. Many adjectives follow precisely this pattern, where the masculine form ends in a consonant, you simply add e at the end, and that is the most common way of making a masculine adjective feminine. Now notice the pronunciation: petit, petite, grand, grande, intéressant, intéressante, content, contente, noir, noir. Important to note, a consonant that is followed by a vowel is pronounced. Usually consonants that are not followed by a vowel are not pronounced, with the exception of the R in the case of noir. Let's look at another regular change in the transformation from masculine to feminine. Adjectives that end in EUX, heureux, become heureuse. The X is swapped out for SE. Sérieux, sérieuse. Furieux, furieuse. And then there are some adjectives that don't change. For example, difficile already ends in an E, remains difficile, whether it's masculine or feminine. Facile, facile. The masculine and the feminine form is the same. Joli, jolie. Already ends in E, no need to add another one. Pénible, pénible. Same masculine, feminine. There is a number of such adjectives that are like that. So whenever you learn adjectives, you need to learn what pattern they belong to. Since adjectives modify nouns and show gender and number, you need to be aware that when you are making a singular plural, what the transformation is. So for petit, you add an S. And in the feminine form, same thing. Petit, petite. Heureux ends in an X. Nouns that end in an X do not change in the plural. However, the feminine form ends in an E, so you add an S to the feminine form. Facile, as you can see, ends in an E, therefore you can add an S, and the same for the feminine form. So, in most instances, the way you make adjectives plural is you add an S.